The following podcast is rated D for dumb.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Hello, everybody. Dave Canyon here in the caravan. Are you ready to dumb it down? All right, let's do it. It is Sunday, October 20th. It is 10:48 a.m. in the morning. And, I forgot what AM stands for. I have to look that up. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I remember being as a kid. Yeah, whatever. I remember being a child, a younger person, a smaller version, a younger, healthier, more optimistic person than I am today with more hair, smaller gut, and other facilities that were working way beyond my potential at the time. I remember always wondering, AM, what does that stand for? And then I found out, and then PM, what does that stand for? Oh, well, that's interesting. And then what was the other thing I found out? AD, right, or BC, and all that other stuff. Time was always like a very interesting aspect for me. What's going on with the time? And just little things, little official, technical, informative type things like that would make me curious. UHF. Does anybody remember UHF? That was really, I remember waking up early in the morning. I've done several podcasts about television shows, that I've watched or whatever, Speed Racer and F Troop and all those shows. By the way, interesting story about Larry Storch. Let's put that in the rabbit trail. Let's see if I get back to an interesting story about Corporal Agon, Larry Storch. Let's see if I remember that. UHF. I remember waking up in the morning. We had a television. You would put it on. Let me see. In New York, it was 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13, and then you get to UHF, and that's where you would get the Spanish stations, like 41 and 47 in New York. One was WNJU, and the other one was something, I don't know. And they both would say, 41, that's 41 in Spanish. 41, Patterson, New Jersey. That would be their station ID. And I would love that. I go, they're saying it in Spanish. And the other one was 47, Patterson, New Jersey. Yeah, and you would get that on UHF. And I just, now that I look back, I wonder all these people looking for television in Spanish. That was the only two channels you were going to get. Was 41, 47, 41 and 47. And I'm just trying to impress you with my Spanish, numerical pronunciations. 41, Sábado Gigante. That would be like a giant Saturday night television, which was, I think, a show that might still be running, or it ran for like 50 years on Spanish television. Sábado Gigante. Anyway, you gotta love the Spanish television. But I just imagine all these people, they live in New York City, I don't know how many people are in New York City in the 5 boroughs, 20 million or whatever. And then, people who live in Paterson, New Jersey, or anywhere in New Jersey. And, this is way before digital, way before cable. And they would have to go to the televisions and put it on UHF. And they probably already had it locked in. But the UHF was like scanning for, what's that radio? Like shortwave, like, wee, wee. I wish I had that sound effect. But, it wasn't locked in like 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. It was, you had to sort of turn the knob several times to the right, like a combination lock. It was kind of like a master lock to unlock 41 and 47. And then there were other stations that were odd. I don't remember. I wish I had an old TV guide. God, I know my mother bought one every week for like 95 cents or 85 cents. The TV guide. Man, I wish I had a stack. All the magazines I have, I don't have any TV guides. You'd think I would save a couple of them, but I never saved them. I love the TV guide. I would actually read that from cover to cover. I'd read all the descriptions. I really should be in the TV industry, not even as an actor, not as a TV repairman. I should definitely have been in the broadcasting industry because I'm so I was, and then I was so amazed by things. You look in the New York TV Guide, and I don't know where everybody lives, and what your TV Guide looks like, but in New York, let's say it was CBS. CBS would be 2, but I think they would actually put in the New Jersey and or Philadelphia listings, or like nearby cities that had different stations, affiliates. And they would, put down 2, and there would be 3 or 6 or whatever. And I always found it interesting. Like, whoa, what's this number here? How come it's in a different color? Well, who has that number? And I would read it. I think I would read the description of almost every show. Every show, would read that thing from front to back. And I would do the crossword puzzle, which is of course not that difficult. And I would read the interviews. They always had some sort of expose on whoever was on the cover. Definitely should have been in the television industry, one way or the other. Anyway, that's a little icebreaker here. That's a little story. So yeah, AM, PM, BC, AD, all that stuff, UHF. And also on UHF, you would find, every so often I would find a cartoon that wasn't on the regular networks, like Johnny Quest. I remember once upon a time, I would have to go to the UHF knob and I would look for Johnny Quest. And was it in Spanish? I don't remember if it was in Spanish, but I remember Johnny Quest was somewhere on another station. And there were other stations too, maybe 21, WLNY, or I don't know. There were other stations. But this is way before digital, way before cable. And I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun tuning. Did I have a lot of fun? I must have had a lot of fun because I would sit there like an idiot and do it. Like on a Sunday morning in my underwear, I'd wake up, my mom and dad would be asleep. They would sleep in sometimes, if not all the time. And I would be up to mischief. I would crawl around the house. Crawl? Eventually I learned to walk when I was about 5 or 6. And then I would look for the chocolate. They would. I have a whole history. Well, I was allergic to chocolate. But I have a whole history of looking for the chocolate. My father would put it up as high as he could in the cabinets. And then there was a short time where he would actually put a lock. He would actually get a chain, one of those, not a big, chain, like you would try to save a New York City bicycle from being robbed. One of those little thin chains. I could probably snap it in half now with my hands at the age of 56. But at the age of 6 and 7 and 8, I was like, oh man, my parents put a chain with a lock around the refrigerator so I wouldn't get in there and start cooking and start making, looking for chocolate. Chocolate sprinkles, that was a premium. Any chocolate candy, chocolate powder, Nestle's Quick, anything that was syrupy, Fox's You-Bet would be in the refrigerator. Yeah, I was, and then I was about to say, I was quite the devil. I was very devilish. I would always, and my mother and father, in their not so wonderful way, would make the devil sign in sign language. And when they would wake up, they would see me and they go, "You are the devil." Like they would say that to me. "You are the devil." I'm like, wow. I'm a little white boy that wants chocolate. I don't know how that makes me demonic. I don't know how you put that together. But they would. That was their math. But they were uneducated, so, I don't expect them to have the correct math. You would think they would say, "Oh, you must be hungry. Want some eggs with your chocolate? Would you like some chocolate-covered sprinkled eggs? Dave, it's nice to see that you have something of an appetite at 6 o'clock in the morning, watching Davy and Goliath and Insight and playing with the UHF. I'd be more than happy as your parent," here we go, down the parent road, "to make you some eggs with chocolate-covered sprinkles, because you're eating, and that's what really matters. And by the way, I'm your parent, so I'm going to get up early, and we're going to have a day together. Like something you want to do. You want to go to the park? You want to sit here and just play with the UHF? Let's find things to do that are TV related. Hey, you want to go to the Museum of Broadcasting and Television History? It didn't exist when I was a child, but it eventually did exist. What do you want to do? You want to go see a live recording of something, Dave? You want to go see a game show? You want to do something that makes you happy and brings you joy that may or may not be television and or radio related, even though we're deaf and we really don't know what the hell's going on. But, for you, Dave. All right, it is 9 minutes and 58 seconds into the show, and this is about the time, the obligatory point of the show, where I need to get an AI to do this, Linda. It says, we are now announcing that this is not the show I wanted to do. Not the show I wanted to do. But it's what came off the top of my head when I would start the show. I do a little icebreaker. I want to thank Alex Exum at the top of the show for doing the intro that he's been doing for the last couple of years, since almost February of 2016. He didn't come on board until later, like episode 20 or 40. But anyway, I've been on the air. I've been doing this show since February 2016, coming up on the 4-year anniversary. That's a milestone. Probably be about, I got to time it. If I do 2 a week between now and February, will I get to episode 200? I'm not going to drag my feet this time. I'm just going to go. If I'm not prepared for episode 200, I'm just going to keep on going. Then I'll say, I'll do it at episode 300. That'll be a milestone show. I'll do episode 300. But February 16, 2016 is my 4-year anniversary. And also, so thank you, Alex Exum, at the top of the show, alexexum.com. He has stuff that goes on, radio shows and the things that he does. You can look him up, alexexum.com, alexexum.com. Also, last show, I was neglective, negatory, negalicious. Gotta be careful with the NEG thing. I didn't mention the AI voices in the show are provided by Linda Irwin of Awesome Insanity Surfers. She just put out 3 new shows. I say she put out 3 new shows. Maybe she put out 1 every week for the last 3 weeks, but last night I just caught up. And Linda, I owe you a whole bunch of comments and things like that. The storyline is, again, I've said this before, is getting better and better. She's really got me so interested. It's really like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, plus Monty Python, and a little Stephen King, a little sci-fi, little alien action, and little Star Wars-ish. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. And the plot is not getting convoluted, because for some reason I'm able to follow it. So it's convoluted enough, but it's getting complex. And things are intertwining. Things are getting connected, because there was a whole bunch of guys from the show that disappeared from the Awesome Insanity radio station, the Awesome Insanity Surfers radio station. A whole bunch of guys disappeared. They used to work there. So now there's all these AIs involved, and there's the digital detective agencies involved, and it's just getting out of hand. But I'm loving it. And I don't follow shows like this, Linda, anybody who's listening. I don't do the whole serial thing, or is it episodic? I don't know. I don't do that. I just don't have time for that on the internet, on the podcast. But Awesome Insanity Surfers doing a good job. But if you jump in the last 3 episodes, you're not going to really probably understand. Linda needs to do a recap show. She needs to do a recap show. And recap the last 3 or 4 years I've been listening to Awesome Insanity Surfers. It's really come to a head. So you probably wouldn't have to go back that far. And I think she put in the comment section a couple of shows ago the link to her show and what she feels is a good episode to go back and start from. I might, if I ever stop talking and get to the listeners' comments, is that what you wanted to do, Dave? No, I'm not even sure I wanted to do that. But I didn't think I wanted to talk about this. So thank you, Linda. Thank you, Alex. And I want to thank Joe Foley from the No Sitting on the Sidelines Dad podcast for being a contributor to the show. You've heard him on the show here before with some voices that he's done. With him and his son with the farting like a bandit. He likes that. I want to thank Hale. What am I saying that for? Hale Aaron. 2 A's in Aaron. I always find that interesting. 2 A's. I think I got it by the first A. I don't think we need to get to the second A. Why can't we spell Aaron A-R-O-N? Aaron? Aaron. If you tell me A-R-O-N is Aaron, I believe you. See, that's pragmatism. 1A. Good enough. We're done. Whether it's Aaron or Aaron, doesn't matter, right? But Hal Aaron does the Tales of the Road Warriors. Tales of the Road Warrior podcast. Gave me a nice little shout out on his Facebook Live the other day. And he's got a show where he interviews musicians and people of the sort who are on the road. He's got an interesting little show. He's a musician himself. He lives in Philly. I met him at Podcast Movement 2019 in Orlando. Helps me out with the retweets and all that good stuff. Linda helps me out with the retweets. Pat Mason, thank you very much for being a fan. He helps me out with the Facebook of the sharing on the Facebook. Also comments. And then when he sees me live, he gushes about the show, and I get very embarrassed, and I try to walk away from him. I'm like, all right, I got to go. He's complimenting me. I got to get out of here. This is uncomfortable. Stop it. Yeah, it's like, for me, it's torture. It's like, all right, just do your job. Share. Your comment. Do that. Get 50 people to listen to the show. You get 50 people to listen to the show. You get 5 people to listen to the show. You get 5 people that comment and listen to the show. I'll sit there for a half hour and listen to you. Thank you, Pat. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasant surprise that our relationship has achieved the level that it has, and a pleasant surprise. And also, I appreciate you appreciating the show. So I mentioned Joe, I mentioned Linda, I mentioned Pat, Hal, Aaron, and I know I'm forgetting somebody, and I'm going to feel really terrible about it that I left somebody out. But I want to thank everybody who's listening to the show. And all you on Spotify, my God, the amount of people who are listening on Spotify who can't comment because you're on Spotify. Come over to Spreaker. Leave a comment. The numbers are really nice. I just like to hear from you. I'd like for you to participate in the show, even though I talked for 16 minutes and said nothing. Just say hello. Say, hi, this is Hans. Hans from France. Yeah, I am listening on Spotify. There's no comment section there. So you can tweet me at DumbWithDave. That's DUMB at DumbWithDave. You can tweet me there. It's a real quick tweet. Hey, Dave. And then you could, if you want, you could post, the link to the show you listen to. That'd be nice. The Spotify link. I like that. Castbox. People listening on Castbox. You know what? Might as well get to that, right?
Hello, Dave.
Oh.
This is Harry.
Yes, Harry.
Perhaps it is time for you humans to have a drink break.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of them, but I'm going to have a drink break right now. I'm having a little water. Okay. That's good.
That's got it. Any bakeries we could stop by on the way?
Still with the bakeries. There's so much going on in the AI world, and Harry's got his mind on bakeries. There's intrigue going on in there. Hazel is involved with this guy Grant and Dave. It's a whole arc. Harry, pay attention to your daughter. I don't trust that Grant. 99% of the people listening to the show have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, Linda's got it going on that show. Awesome Insanity Surfers. Got a whole storyline going on. It used to be just comedy. It used to be just craziness. All these little segments she would do. And now it's like a storyline. She got to be hooked into it. You know what it is? It's very good, but you know what it is? I think it's the vacuum left from Downton Abbey going off the air. I need a story. Did it sort of work out? I think it sort of worked out. Downton Abbey went off the air. I just saw the movie, by the way. It was excellent. They just went off the air, and then Linda comes in with this storyline. Whatever. I'm all compelled to listen. It's craziness. All right, so let's go to the comments section. Let's do that. Let's take a chance and hit some buttons here. Make sure we don't screw this up. Did I say it was October 20th? Did I say that it was it's not a beautiful day in New York, but it's beautiful enough. I can see sunshine, and it's got that cloud formation in the sky, like it just snowed, or it's going to snow, or something. It's like a pillowy. It's not like big thing. It's like one big blanket. That's what it's a cloud blanket. It's a cloud blanket, Dave. That's the technical term. If you don't go to the Weather Channel and look it up. Don't go asking Sam Champion. Hey, is that a technical? I'm telling you, it's a technical term. It's a cloud blanket. It's a blanket cloud. All right, let's just go real quick. Let's see if we can get some shows in here. I was gonna do. I don't go home during the week because I'm doing Dave's Fit Life. By the way, on YouTube, Dave's Fit Life, as I sleep in the caravan, during the work week. So you can check out YouTube, Dave's Fit Life. Also, Dumbing It Down with Dave is now on YouTube, by the way. You can actually just go to Dumbing It Down with Dave. No, wait. I don't think you can yet. Oh, yeah, I need subscribers. Duh. Oh, I knew there was something. Subscribers. Dave, you think maybe one day you'll write down notes? Have some bullet points? Yeah, I know. That would be too smart. So Dumbing It Down with Dave, I have one subscriber. That's me. So I need subscribers. Because right now the channel is called whatever YouTube decides to call it. Ampersand, // exclamation point, blah, blah, blah. But if you go to, you don't even have to click the icon to get notified because you're obviously listening on Spotify or Spreaker. So you don't have to click on the icon to get notified of my shows. Just subscribe. Listen, this is what happens when you click unsubscribe. I'm going to play it out for you. Okay, so www.youtube.com. You enter that, and then you go, enter in the search, Dumbing It Down with Dave, hit enter, and then you're going to see my show. And then you go, oh, there's a red subscribe button. It's always red. Click. What happens? Nothing. Your life does not change one bit. You're now a subscriber. So if I get 100 listeners, 200 listeners, 300 listeners, I should have, by the end of the week, I should have 100 subscribers. Because YouTube won't let me call it the Dumbing It Down with Dave YouTube channel until I get 100 subscribers. So please do that. I'd appreciate that. And nothing will change for you. You won't get junk mail. You won't get any notifications. It'll just be click and you walk away. Just walk away. Nobody gets hurt. Nothing happens. Okay. Is the show over? I feel like I talked. Oh, so also I want to tell you that the Dumbing It Down with Dave newsletter is now in existence. The newsletter is now in existence. How do I get the newsletter, and why would I want that? All right. First of all, I don't know why you'd want it. It makes me feel good. Now, there's a reason why you'd want the newsletter. And you would go to davecanyon.com. You would go to dumbingitdownwithdave.com. You go to diddwd.com or donewithdave.com. All these .coms all go to this. They're all called URLs. The letter U, the letter R, the letter L. Dave, you're never going to get to anything if you keep on talking. I know. I can't help myself. A half-hour show is really, I think, all I need. I'd love to do an hour, but you don't want to talk for an hour, do you? You don't want to sit there for an hour. So anyway, if you want to listen to the show for an hour, go to Mile High Radio, milehighhiradio.com on Mondays at 11 o'clock, whatever time it is in Colorado. Whatever, I don't know. Yeah, every Monday, I think at 11 o'clock, milehighhiradio.com. They play an hour of Dumbing It Down with Dave. So you click on the subscribe button, nothing happens. Oh yeah, go to the website and go to somewhere there's a contact. Go to the contact page and just type in your email address. And I got this thing now with MailChimp, that whole MailChimp thing. And you'll get an automatic letter if you subscribe. I'd like to get 100 subscribers too. Why not, right? Dave, you got to subscribe to YouTube, and now you want us to get on the newsletter. We got things to do. Got to get ready for the winter time. I know. I just would do it one thing one week and do something next week. 0.001 at a time. You don't have to do everything today. And really, how much of a sweat are you going to break? But Dave, you're going to yell at your listeners now? You're going to alienate them? I'm just saying. Really, are you going to break a sweat going to YouTube, typing in Dumbing It Down with Dave in the search button and clicking subscribe? You're not going to break a sweat. Could have had it done already. Just do it right now. I don't care if you stop listening to the show. Do it right now. When I get home, you're not hearing the show yet. If the show was live, I would say, when I get home, I want to see 100 subscribers. And then go to the website and type in your email address, and you'll get an automatic first newsletter. And then I think there's a second and a third that are somewhat pre-timed. And then after that, it's up to me to sort of keep you in touch. So what are you going to see in the newsletter? Well, first of all, I would have to actually do the newsletter. Pauline might help me with it, but I'm not really sure. Pauline in the Philippines. My assistant, doing a great job. So I'll probably just give you like a monthly update. Dave, do I really need a monthly update? You got anything going on? So here's the reason. It's not just because of the monthly update. If we even actually put out a monthly newsletter, it's not going to be more than monthly. I could pretty much tell you that. And by the way, you'll be able to control it. At some point, you'll be able to decide, how you decide you want the highlights, you want it weekly, monthly, whatever. And then if you want, you can opt out. But why would you opt out? You're my friend, right? You want to hear from me, right? Here is the reason. We're never going to get to the show I want to do. Here is the reason why you should sign up for the newsletter. Because if I am to get deplatformed? What is that? Why would you get deplatformed? Deplatformed is when Spreaker says, we don't want you on our website anymore. You've said things. You've broken the community guidelines. That can happen. It could definitely happen on YouTube. It could happen almost anywhere. In this day and age that we live in, of this political correctness, I might do a show on racism, or I might just do a show on romance or sex or drugs or whatever, rock and roll. and somebody can report me, or several people could just click on the report button or whatever, and then I get deplatformed. And then I don't have a place to do my podcast. And then you'll go, where's Dave? How come I don't see Dumbing It Down with Dave on the... Well, because I got deplatformed. But if you sign up for the newsletter, then I'll send you a letter, an email, say, hey, this is what happened. You know why you're not hearing a show from me? I got deplatformed. So nowadays, that's really the primary concern, is to have a nice, long, large, bountiful email newsletter list. So if, God forbid, something should happen to me, I can notify you. And by the way, again, you go to the website, you put in your email address, you hit enter. You know what happens? Nothing. You get a newsletter. It's not even paper. It's digital. It shows up in your mailbox, Gmail, Yahoo, whatever you got, and then you delete it. Or you read it. Or you forward it to your entire contact list. Whatever. It's just really so simple. And I would appreciate you guys helping me out. You know what's going to happen? In about 5 days, I'm going to have 3. It's going to be 3. So you guys on Spotify, why don't you do that? Help me out, Spotify. Spotify is amazing. Can't believe how many people are into Spotify. How did that happen? What are they offering that's so fantastic? Anyway, all right, let's, 26 minutes. I don't have that much time. Did I mention this wasn't the show I wanted to do? Okay. Let's do this real quickly. We'll do a couple of shows probably. We'll work our way backwards. Normally I go to the oldest show, work my way up to the newest show, but I forgot where we left off. So let's just do this. Episode 162, Trump, Travel, and My Mom. Trump, Travel, and My Mom. In episode 162 of Dumbing It Down with Dave, Dave shares his thoughts on the issue and possible solution, which might have something to do with incentives regarding the New York traffic. Actually, traffic anywhere. But yeah, traffic in New York. Tune in to Dave as he also gives a glimpse of his recent visit to his mother through his ideas of what ifs surrounding his parents' health. Find out where the current president, Donald Trump, figures in on all of this. Good job, Pauline. That's a nice description. All right. And then what is the quote that she's got for me? I like these little quotes, like a Chinese fortune cookie. All right, here we go. This is a quote from episode 162 from Dave Canyon. If I take mass transit, it shouldn't be more expensive. It should be cheaper to get people off their cars and onto mass transit. Oh, yeah, I do remember saying that. Isn't that true? That's kind of true. It's definitely true. It's more than kind of true. It should be cheaper to take mass transit. Good job, Pauline, for picking that out of all the things I said. You know, it'd be great if I had the actual sound of that. I could play that during the show. All right. Well, I don't expect Pauline to be able to do that, but can you do that, Pauline? Can you take the sound out and then send it to me like an MP3? That'd be really great. I bet you Linda could do that. Somebody could do that. I can't do that. That'd be great. All right, episode 162. That's what the description. That's one of the things I said. Let's do the listeners' comments. I think that's going to end the show. First listener comment was me. Thank you for listening and politely commenting. And then Linda Irwin wrote in response to episode 162 about mass transit. We have no taxi service here in McCall, Idaho. They have no taxi service. The bus line we have runs along the highway from McCall to the end of the line town. I think she meant to say town line. The line town, 34 miles away. There is one that runs through the downtown area. We live so rural, we cannot take advantage of it. We would have to drive to downtown, which is where we just go to where we need to go and come home. All right, I got a little lost there at the end, but you get it. All right. Yeah, wow, she's got no bus line. All right, Linda Irwin. She wrote, this is in response to episode 162, being an only child, I was the one who took care of things when my dad passed. It was a good experience in that I was able to help others after me that found themselves managing an estate. Good job, Linda. All right, well, that's episode 162. That's it, 2 comments, both Lindas. Where's everybody? How come you're not commenting? What happened? You didn't like episode 162? Wasn't it enough for you? Was it entertaining? Was it compelling? Oh, 29 minutes and 21 seconds. That's it. I talk so much we could only do one show. 162. All right. Sorry about that. That was the show I wanted to do. I wanted to go back as far as we can, because normally I would do a bonus episode and I would cover all that, but I didn't go home this week because I'm in the caravan staying at the job, sleeping in the van for Dave's Fit Life, so I did not do a bonus show. I should have done one anyway. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Episode 163. Next episode 164. Maybe a bonus episode. Goodbye. Good day. Good night. Good luck. Good riddance. Good rats. Godspeed. Great skills. I think that's 2 weeks in a row. I did it without any hesitation. Bye, guys. Have a great day.